Hello, welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I am working on a layout using Tracy Reed's brand new Oh What Fun Christmas collection. It came out on Thanksgiving Day and it is a fun, it's in the name, collection to play with. I love the pop of teal in this collection very much. I think that this might actually be one of my favorite Christmas collections to play with. If you know me very well, you know that I am not a huge fan of scrapping Christmas stuff. And that's not because I don't like Christmas, and it's not because I don't have any Christmas photos. It's because I feel like they look the same year after year after year. Last year, I helped myself change that up by making sure that I printed smaller photos and cut down on the amount of photos that I printed altogether, and that really helped me get over that slump when I was scrapbooking 2015 Christmas photos. I am almost finished with the 2016 Christmas photos. I think I have a couple of layouts left that are 2-page layouts, and I'll probably get back to those in a minute, but this is going to be a layout from December of 2017. And this is a photo of my nativity scene. Now, we bought this nativity scene when we were brand new to the Army, our very first Christmas in Germany. The Commissary Exchange, or otherwise known as the CX, because it was a commissary and a PX in one building, and it's the only one of its kind in the world where it used to be. I don't know if that's changed, because I haven't been overseas in forever. But it was where we could go grocery shopping and we could get clothing as well, because it was kind of like a super Walmart all in one, but it was in Germany. We were stationed in Stuttgart, Germany, and we lived in Robinson Barracks first. And then as our little family grew into a family of 7, we ended up moving down the hill into Grenadier Caserne in a larger apartment. Anyway, so we bought this our very first Christmas in the military, and I still have it, but I have had to replace all of the people and animals. But this is still the older stuff, and I think at this point I had glued together quite a bit of it trying to keep it. I know that my stable, I probably need to strip and add new moss and stuff in it. I've not done that. But anyway, so I'm going to be trying to make a sunburst pattern with these papers. These are the papers that I have chosen to play with. And they are all printed on Joann's 110-pound white cardstock, which is my favorite. Some of these papers are scraps from my first layout using the collection, and others are full sheets that I have not cut into. I believe I mentioned in my video for Saturday that there are roughly 30 sheets of paper in this collection, and I printed, I think, all but 2. So my goal is to try to use them up and not have anything to put away. So I'm going to pause and I'm going to get started. I'm going to show you how to make a sunburst using a ruler and a piece of paper to create a pattern first, and then I will be right back. All right, the first thing that you need to do is find the center point of your paper with the ruler. And of course, if you're using the Omnigrid ruler, it is at the 6-inch mark. You can just line it up at the bottom like I did, and then you can use it to draw your lines. I used the 30-degree mark on my ruler and put dots, and then I used the longer ruler, it's an 18-inch ruler, to do the lines. And then when I had all of my lines drawn, I made 12 shapes. I numbered them 1 through 12, and then I cut them out. And the reason that I did that will become very apparent here in a second. You flip them over, and you flip your paper over, and you use the pie pieces that you just made to cut out your sunburst. I went ahead and I numbered the back of all of my pieces as I cut them out of the pattern paper so that I wouldn't get them lost when I was trying to put it back together. Now, if you're worried about things lining up perfectly, or not lining up perfectly rather, you can scuff up the edges of the paper and then it won't matter. I did have a little bit of a gap between one of my papers, but it didn't turn out to be that big of a deal. So all I'm doing here is just tracing each shape onto the back of my pattern paper, cutting it out, putting the number on it that I used, and then I've got another piece of white cardstock. The white cardstock I used for the pattern and to place my shapes on is Joann's paper, but it is the 65 pound, not the 110 that I typically use, and that's because I printed all of this paper on the 110, and so it's going to be super thick, and I am going to be stitching on this layout, so I didn't want it to be super thick. Now, you might have noticed I was only using a little bit of glue, and that's because I knew I was going to be stitching. Everything will stay down because every single pie shape is going to be stitched in the middle or middle-ish. Now, initially, I was not using a ruler to do this, and I ended up with a couple lines that veered off from straight a little bit, so I went back and I just used my Omnigrid ruler to trace some lines on there so that they would be straight, and then I erased my pencil lines when I was done. So what you see me doing now is I'm just poking the holes for all 12 pieces, and I'm going to be doing the stitching with some tone on tone. The only one that's not going to be tone on tone is that one with the white background and the colorful dots, and I'm going to use the lighter green to stitch that. And what I am doing now is I'm just kind of stitching one hole or one line on camera so that you can see how it's done. All right, now I'm ready to put this layout completely together. Off camera, I took my photo and I used my Big Shot and my nesting circle dies, and I cut the photo down into 2 circles and mats from scraps from this layout. I also have this doily that I cut for another project and changed my mind about using that I'm going to use. It is also from this collection. So I am intentionally not putting my larger photo in the center, and the reasoning for that is because I am wanting to create kind of a landscape of the sticker elements across the page with my photos to kind of draw your eye across the page. Otherwise, your eyes might go wonky looking at all of the beautiful colors that I have on this layout. So I am also creating this layout as part of a challenge for Counterfeit Kit Challenge blog. We are doing a month-long challenge game on our Facebook community group all month long. And day 1 challenge was to create a layout using circles. And so that's why I'm using circles. And I am considering the doily and the wreath and the snowflakes that I am going to also be adding to this layout as circular elements as well. This title, of course, is not from this collection. It is actually an Allie Edwards set of foam stickers from one of her December daily kits. I purchased the kit and I have not used it yet, although I am in the process of beginning to use it, but that's for another video, another time. So I took the time to make sure that I journaled by printing and cutting it out into strips. Now I'm going to add those snowflake elements, and I'm going to add a piece of holly and berries to my candy canes, and then 5 of the snowflakes to kind of complete my embellishing on this layout. I love the Christmas trees in this collection. They're so pretty and fun. All right, I got my layout completely finished. I did use some foam adhesive in various places, underneath the snowflakes, underneath the holly, underneath the light strand, the tree and the gingerbread, and of course underneath my typed journaling strips. I really loved making this burst layout. It turned out exactly how it was in my head, and I'm quite happy with it. I want to thank you for coming to my channel today. I really appreciate those of you who take the time to like, comment, and or subscribe to my channel. If you are new here, I would love to have you as a subscriber. Just click that button below. There's a bell down there. You can click that and YouTube will give you a notification when I put out new content. I strive to get new content out 2 to 3 times a week. It is December. I do have my kids coming in from their various home states for Christmas at the end of the month. Plus, I have to go grab our granddaughter. I'm meeting her mom at the halfway mark. So December's going to be kind of crazy busy, but I will attempt to get as much content on here as I possibly can. Maybe you can watch it while you are wrapping presents. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.